Hello, everyone. I'm Phil. This is my cousin, Uriah. And
Hello.
welcome to the What Do You Have to Say podcast. Two cousins, two perspectives, one mission.
Mhm.
And we dive into topics like lifestyle, current events, and we just delve into it all. We talking about it all. And today we're talking about the power of no, reclaiming your peace. Come on, man. Let's talk.
What do you have to say? There's no time to waste. What do you have to say? Together we lift our voices and let them
In a
ring.
block from
Mhm.
7:30 until 9, that's my hour and a half block. I would stop and then I would create some more content, get some breakfast or something. But it's
Yeah.
building those systems that help us stay consistent because you will not always feel like doing it.
You don't feel,
You
and you know what? When you don't always feel like it, this ties in what we were just talking about from that break, is to
yes,
sometimes you
yeah.
gotta say no.
Some
No
right.
to other people, and sometimes no to yourself. Like, not right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that can be
Yes,
hard to
yes.
do.
Right, right.
Okay,
It
so
is
we
it's
y'all, we
hard
was
to
just
do.
talking, and we back right
We
now.
just talking. Hey,
We're just talking, but this is
hey.
about. I love the topic that you brought in. We were talking about it, the power of no, which
Mhm.
is such an important topic, and how when we just say no, which is very simple. Hold on, it's it's easy to do, but it's very hold on. It's an
It
easy word, simple word, very hard to do sometimes.
There, uh, and I have to agree with you that it's easy to say, but even more of a challenge to put it into practice. And
Absolutely.
and because I mean, as we get into it, we'll learn. We will discuss that. Look, we have been taught to say yes a lot. We from as we get into we have been taught that and we have been conditioned to say yes, and we feel some kind of way if we just say no. But
Absolutely. And
uh
just touching on it a little bit, you said we've been conditioned. We're
yeah,
conditioned by our culture, but more importantly, we're conditioned by our family, right?
family,
And
teachers.
some of us grow up in families that have that are connected to their faith very strongly, sometimes
Mm,
not, but in those
mm,
old family structures,
mhm.
you don't really have a voice. You're not saying no to your mother, your
What?
father, your grandmother. Saying no, uh-uh,
I don't think that
uh-uh.
is just that wasn't even that
Well,
wasn't it wasn't permissible, and you didn't even think about it. I mean,
you
you
didn't think about it.
honestly, you did not think about saying no. It was no, ma'am, no, not in that way, but it
Like,
was
no, I'm
always,
not gonna do that.
oh
You
no,
would never
never,
say that. Not no
never,
chest out saying no.
chest out, because it would have been caved right back in, and oh yeah,
Remember,
but
I
the
reminded you
power,
the one time I told you
the,
I said no to my mom?
no, no,
Remember when I worked
uh,
at God?
oh, she was like,
Remember?
oh no, this was
Uh,
gonna happen.
Absolutely. I was 18,
Oh,
19.
oh gosh,
I think
oh
around
gosh,
maybe 19 at the
yes,
time, and
yes,
I wasn't
yes,
going to
yes.
work. I said no.
Yes,
There
yes.
was no having the no in
You were
that house.
reclaiming your peace, at
I was
that
trying
time.
to.
At that time, we'll go with that. Your
Well,
power
not
of
only
no.
could I not reclaim my peace, but you had to get up too.
I couldn't reclaim it either.
You couldn't reclaim it because she was like, "You both gonna be in the same. Get up." Isn't that funny?
Exactly,
So
exactly.
the
But I'm
power
excited.
of
The
no.
power of no, reclaiming your peace. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
You want to
Well,
start,
what
man?
does that mean to you?
The power of no, the ability to say no to things that are not aligned with you, things that um, maybe don't put you first. And I know that not in a selfish kind of way, but when you are just saying yes to everything, you're
Mm.
really, I mean, yeah, when you're saying yes to everything, you're saying no to some things about you, your authenticity, your what you want to happen in your life. And so when we when we learn how to say no and stand on it and mean it, I always say that, yeah, I've learned in my adultness as I've become older to say no and not even waver. Not even
Mm.
it may sting a little bit, but they'll get over it because
Mhm.
you can't just keep pouring and pouring and pouring from it. You have nothing left for yourself. So the power of no is reclaiming your peace. You'll be frazzled and you'll be all over the place. What does the power of no reclaiming your peace mean for you?
I wish that had I was asking you, but I wasn't really prepared.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
it's interesting because growing up, I I spoke up a lot. I don't think I got to say no, but I stood up against, or I was defiant in a way that maybe wasn't productive, right? I was trying to communicate a no, but in a family when there wasn't a space to say no, especially if it's a authoritarian type household, there is no saying no. And again, I don't think that I learned. I've had a very difficult time for many years. I think we talked in our last episode about finding my voice, and that's only
Hmm.
been
Hmm.
in recent times.
Hmm.
Uh, so I think I'm still learning about saying no and how it's okay, no matter if someone else is not okay with your no or boundary, which
Right.
we will talk.
Right.
Yeah. So I think I'm still
And
learning, Phil.
I'm learning as well, and I'm glad that you said that. And you said something else too. Um, what what do you call defiant then? I would call questioning. Um,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
that's what I was like. Were we able to question growing up? Not not really. It is what it
You
is,
do.
and you what they say, and you do, and so it's that question. But I see a lot of, and I'm not a parent, but I do teach 8-year olds
Yeah.
and 9-year olds,
Yeah.
and I have taught 6-year olds, and and they're questioning or they're what I would say defiant
Yeah.
is just them being is this them questioning what is
Period.
happening or right well, and it could be curiosity, um
Yeah.
right, but yeah, we weren't afforded that.
You know, when
um
you said questioning, I had in grade school, and I don't know if it was young. One of my early report cards says Uriah questions authority, and it was in a negative way. And
Mhm,
when I
mhm,
look at
mhm.
that little thing now, I love it. I love that that was a part of who I was early on, and
Early on.
it wasn't appreciated
Mhm.
when you question authority. But I
Right.
tell anybody and everybody, you better question authority.
These days you
You don't
have
just
to.
do everything that somebody tells you to do. You better ask some questions
Right, 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 before I know.
before it's done. All right.
The power
Well,
of
let's
no.
get into it, Philip.
Let's go. Let's go.
So, uh, what's that? We're sort of starting with. Hold on. Where's the notes? that first one about what learning, what was the first video called?
Learning to say no, learning
Yeah,
to say
learning to
learn
say
to
no.
Jim Rome.
Yeah, we're gonna sort of go through learning to say, how do you say all that stuff, and
Okay, yeah.
let's start with Jim Rohn.
Jim Rome. I really like what he says because I mean we kind almost got into it already about automatically saying no when we say yes so much. We automatically are saying no to ourselves. And he says some great things in this clip about um, what that looks like and what that is, and learning to say no, and how we'll get into. Most of us have been conditioned to from an early age to say yes, and,
To say yes,
we have. Yeah, go ahead.
we have that. I'm having some problems with the video here,
Okay,
so
but mo the word is agreeable, and, most of us have been taught to be agreeable. We've been taught to share, from air,
mm,
well, that's my toy, but
yeah,
you have to share with him,
you have to share.
or that's my bike, but will you let them ride too? We have been taught that conflict, what is it? Conflict avoidance. We don't want any conflicts. Let's everybody just, can we all just get along?
Get
And so
along.
that's where that apprehension to disagree. To
Mhm.
disagree, we think that conflict is a bad thing, but conflict is not knock down, drag them out. But it, I think we have that connotation of
Yeah,
conflict, and but be always, we've been taught, always be the bigger person, always. Um, that's where that people pleasing thing
comes in.
is birthed. I think
I
it comes from that.
Okay, I've got the video now.
Alrighty, go ahead.
Show this. Do you see that?
The most valuable word in the English language might just be one you've been taught to avoid.
Oh,
It's simple, just 2 letters. But most people find it harder to say than words with 5 syllables. That word is no. You see, your life is built decision by decision, and every time you say yes to something, you're automatically saying no to something else. That's just how time works.
yes.
There are only 24 hours in your day, just like everyone else's. The question is, are you filling those hours with your priorities or someone else's? I've
Mm.
watched thousands of people over the years, successful ones, struggling ones. And I
Yes.
noticed something interesting. The successful ones aren't necessarily saying yes to
This
more
part.
opportunities.
This.
Often they're just better at saying no to the wrong ones.
That's it.
Okay.
That is it. You know,
Okay.
what do you say? Okay. I What I liked about that clip is it is a two-letter word that we find very hard to say, and that's no. But what gets me is it says, "Are you filling your hours with your priorities or with someone else's?"
Mm,
And
that's the
successful
thing.
that's are you filling your out my hours? Am I filling my hours with other people's priorities, or is it me? Am I saying yes to them? If I
Mhm,
have a coworker that says, "Hey, Phil, can you do this for me? Will you help me?" And I'm
mhm.
like in the back of my mind saying, "Look, I got my own caseload. Where you at?" But
Yeah.
when I start filling my hours with your work, I'm avoiding, or setting my priorities on the back burner. And successful people, it says, he said, they're not fearful of saying no, but they say no to the wrong things that don't move them forward and don't reclaim their peace. And
Well, that's important, but I wonder how often because of our upbringing, what we learned, how we learned it, that we find it difficult to even discern what is good for us or not, right? So
oh,
he made
oh,
it sound very simple. He said they say they say no to the things that aren't helpful to them, like to the
mm-hmm,
they say right things for them.
mm-hmm,
Sometimes
mm-hmm.
we don't
We don't
know.
know the right things. What?
Sometimes we don't.
I have to agree with that. I
Sometimes
I
we don't.
I think that we see, and not to judge anybody, but I think that we see a lot of society that has easily led, and not following someone else's. This is if you're not building your own life, you're allowing someone else to build your life, they don't have much for you. It's- you're helping them build theirs,
They
but
don't have much for you.
for you.
Uh-uh.
And I see a lot of that. That's good. But
You
go
know,
ahead.
the
Go
one of
ahead.
the things that I was thinking about is oftentimes we also we won't say no. I at least I think, and this is what I've seen, we won't say no because we're hoping that if I do this for you,
Oh,
I'm gonna get it back. That
oh,
it'll be reciprocated. But Philip,
oh,
how often or do we do that just thinking, oh, they'll be there for me when I need it, it won't come back. But then we don't learn from the one or the two times that we do it, or the three times or the four times that we do it with that person. Now we're starting to get resentful. But we still we don't know how to say no. Now we have a track record that
right.
this isn't working,
Right, right. And
but
they have
we
a track record too that we haven't recognized, or we haven't acknowledged, or we have been
or
just
that you'll say
willful.
yes,
What did you say?
that you'll say yes.
That you say? I mean, but I mean, we have some. It's called willful ignorance. That we're just our dismissiveness, willful dismissiveness of
Mm,
their actions too.
mm.
That we have just been people pleasing, hoping that we'll somehow get in their good graces, or we'll somehow gain favor with them,
It
and
doesn't work that way.
they not even thinking like that. They not even
Well,
thinking. But the word, I want to throw this word in. And do you think that saying yes all the time and being there is a form of manipulation? Because and here's why. Because um, if I'm saying yes, that means I can get in your good graces. Is that not manipulation?
I think it depends on the person, and I think it depends on their
Oh, intent? It,
what came before, what they learned,
what?
right? Because there are going to be some people that are going to go, "Oh yeah, I'm going to do that," thinking that they can then use that then to manipulate the people that remember I did this for you and this blah 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 blah. They're going to
That,
come back and they're going to use it on you, as opposed to the people. Because we'll get into the what our background that makes us say yes or no.
mhm.
I think it's the intent coming from the person and their experience. The people who is more manipulative, I don't like them type of people.
I got
Those
you.
are those are those people who are I would put them in that group of the ass kissers. And I'll never forget when I moved out to California, I became a manager in a record store and it was so clear.
Oh, okay.
I'm the new manager, and this guy, hey, you're right. What do you want us to do? And he had two faces, two faces. As soon as he turned around and walked over here, it was something else, right? That was the yes man using it in manipulation.
It's okay. Okay. To receive something, or
Whatever they thought they
whatever
was
it
going to get.
was, to receive that. Yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, yeah. But
Okay.
yeah, the
Okay.
power, the power of no. Yes, yes, yes.
Well, let's connect the power of no and maybe because the next one you have is I'm interested is the fear of missing out. You wanted how are you connecting that? That's curious to me.
I think that when I say the fear of missing out on it's just not fear of missing out on a party, or fear of missing out on but I think it begins with uh checking your email, checking your social media, missing out. I think that it keeps us on high alert when we see life um, through a lens of lack. When we see our lives through a lens of lack instead of
Hmm.
abundance, it feels like we are missing out on something. When we see
Mm,
everybody's highlight reel going on,
mm,
but our just menial life, or we think that it's menial life,
yeah.
but it's, you know, how many people would rather switch places with you, even with what you think is boring, or
Hmm.
but the fear of missing out, we have just, I think social media has it's just exploded that, or has expanded that to um that our lives are missing something. And
I think you're
or I
on to
made
something.
I don't have it correct verbally, but it's like fear of missing out. And I think we get to see um other lives happening, other people just making moves, and but we don't see the backgrounds. We don't see the backstory on that. But um we're saying yes so we can kind of so we can get some of that in our
So we
lives.
can
We think
be
that
there. We don't want
to
to.
be
We think we might be able to gain something by
something.
saying yes. You
Yes.
know,
Yes.
let's look at this video. But what I'm
Yes.
connecting,
Yeah.
because we'll be talking about boundaries in a little bit. It
Mhm.
sounds to me like when you say the fear of missing out is this concept of like uh, leaky boundaries or porous boundaries. These are people who don't really have boundaries, and these are
Mhm.
probably going to be the people who are going to say yes, period, because uh, because they're overextending themselves. They're yes. They saying yes when they really want to say no. Because sometimes those people who were saying maybe they fear missing out on something, they
Mhm.
really want to say no. They don't really care, but they say yes anyhow.
Right, right. Right. Fear of missing
I don't
out.
know.
And I don't know, you know, I don't believe that yes, I have. I have experienced that, the fear of missing out, fear of not being invited,
Ah,
I fear of not being on the in crowd.
so
And
you
I'm
said
still
yes.
so I would say yes, even going along with
Mm.
something that I knew that was against my principles, or against something that um and I said yes because I felt like I was be missing out, or I wouldn't be with the beautiful people, or being with the in people. And so
You,
fear of missing
you
out.
you just took me back to high school,
Uh,
and I tell this story
and
now.
I was
I
man,
tell
I
this
was
story
just getting ready to
because
say, go, yes.
I was I, when I started drinking beer, I didn't even like the taste of beer. I didn't like taste of it at all. And I just told friends recently I would be in the I was in the back seat and I would pour my beer out of the window because this is another day in time. We're driving and drinking. And I just pour my beer out of the window to pretend like I have had the beer. And, I said, yes, I want to do it, but I wanted to be a part of a crowd.
Fear of missing out. Whatever
Yeah.
that was, missing out.
Because
Yeah.
people look at you differently. I'll never forget the second time I went to a party, they never saw me at a party, never. And I saw how people liked, "Oh, you're here? Oh
And
my god."
responded to you. Yes,
Responded to
yes.
me, get him
Yeah.
this thing, and same thing. I was at bonfire, I just poured it out. I pretended like I was tipsy. I wasn't. But they got so much joy of seeing me
Oh
a part of
gosh.
the crowd.
Oh gosh.
Fear of missing out.
That is fear of missing out.
Let's
That's it.
let- let's
Oh,
look at
boy.
this. Your video.
Okay. Yes.
I I hadn't even seen this. The fear.
I think it
There we go.
starts with a quote. Oh, yes. Yes. Exactly.
Comparison is the thief of joy, American President Theodore Roosevelt once stated. The fear of missing out seems especially built on a sense of comparison. not having what others have, not being able to experience what others experience. But living life, keeping up with the rest of the world, is like carrying water to the sea. In reality, we miss out all the time. Modern life offers us so many choices, and there are so many things happening on this globe that we humans, with our short lifespans, miss out on almost everything.
Everything. And
But
not
it's
go
okay
ahead.
to miss out.
It but
So we're tying this to saying no, right? So
yeah,
we can say no, and you and I and the next door neighbor, the person walking down the street right now, we can't do everything. We are going to miss out on something, and
we
that's okay.
are. We are. But there comes I think that comes with maturity. I think that comes with
Mm,
experience as well, that when it's okay to stay at home on Friday night. It's so there was a
mm,
time when I was out every Friday night or
mm-hmm,
Saturday night or whatever night it was that we go to the club or go
mm-hmm,
to the wherever that we went. I was
mm-hmm.
out because I felt like I couldn't miss out on it. But also, that comparison is the
Of joy.
thief of joy, and
Uh-huh.
it is true. Not it seems like when we're looking at everybody else just having a good time, enjoying their life, that we are really missing out on something. But I like that quote that says, "It's like carrying water to the sea."
To
Ooh,
the sea.
wow, wow, comparison. It is fear of missing out, and I don't know if we ever kind of get over that. If I
Well,
could
I
just
think
be honest,
we do. Well, hold on.
I mean,
Some
no, the
people
completely, not completely.
of the missing out piece.
Yeah,
I think as you get older, things shift in you.
they do, and
They
they
do
do.
because I don't. As you get older, you don't feel like you have to do and have to be.
Right.
I'm hoping that it does because if it does not, like, not completely, we're still working through things all of our life. But if
Uh,
we're still
uh.
struggling with the fear of missing out and saying no as we get older, we have to take a look at ourselves and what's going on, and
Mm,
what are we what are we being influenced? What are we afraid of?
right. But
What are we afraid of?
yeah,
So
I don't know. I just think that it still sticks with us. Um, yes, we may. Oh, I don't want to say age out of some of it, but I think that we still have that component that we want to be accepted, want to be some parts of us validated. I
I
really do.
I want to
I think
I want to push back on with you
okay,
against that. As I
okay,
think as we understand ourselves better, as
okay.
we grow, if you even want to if you want to bring in a journey in faith, when we understand ourselves better, we
Mhm.
don't have to be like the other. And we can miss out. Now, sometimes you might have a wish or a thought, oh, I wish I could have done that. But that same drive, like, oh, what can I do? I need to, oh, what are they going to, I wish I could be there or that. I think that goes away. What are your thoughts?
That intenseness
The
of that
intenseness.
this of that diminishes. Then and I agree with that. Because and I am better that I can it's Friday and I don't need to go anywhere because I have been everywhere
Yeah.
already,
Yep.
and so that's where I guess that age, that wisdom and that experience comes in, and that fear of missing out because I have done it all
Yep.
and I'm not missing anything. And but
Well,
I still think just a little bit of us want to be in. It just depends what the
I understand.
circumstance is.
I hear your
Okay.
position.
Okay. All righty.
We,
That's
we,
all.
we
I'm
get
not
to we get to agree that we have different.
It's
thoughts about those things.
two
You know,
cousins. That's right. Right. Right.
absolutely.
Like,
But
that's
I
a
think
different perspective. That's
where the connection is,
mhm.
and now I'm using a little bit of my therapist brain, is all those ideas of not missing out and of uh, finding the difficulty of saying no. I think it now we're touching back on maybe how we were reared and the things that
Mhm.
we experienced and
Mhm.
that we
Mhm.
got or we didn't
Mhm.
get or wish that we had, blah blah blah.
Mhm.
So I'm breaking it
Mhm.
down to like safety
Mhm. Mhm.
versus our
Mhm.
identity, who we
Mhm.
are.
Mhm.
Are we going to be safe? When we're talking about
Mhm.
saying no,
Mhm.
I am equating with setting a boundary.
Mhm. 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 Right.
I will do this. I won't do this. If I do this,
Right.
this is how far I can go. If I do this, this is what I want you to do. Blah, 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 blah,
Mhm.
blah. Right.
Mhm.
Saying
Mhm.
no is a part of our safety. And it also has to do with our, our identity, who we are. Right.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
it can be really difficult for some people to say no because I think
Right.
our identity is tied to, for a lot of people, being the
Mhm.
helper, the one who is the people pleaser, the one who's the reliable one, the one who's always there for everybody. We know that that usually means you don't get, no
You
one's
don't
there for
get
you,
what no.
right?
No.
But
Right.
you're there for everybody. And if you say no,
Right.
someone's going to be disappointed, unhappy, mad.
Right, right. But aren't you but yeah, that's just gonna be part of it because somebody is always not gonna you're not gonna please everybody, you
You're
know?
not going to
But it is also isn't that training them how to teach you how
treat you
to treat you. That's what I need to say. They're that's like training them when you're always there and if you pull back and say and set that boundary, it's like, oh, you gone too far with
too
that.
far.
And I can't physically and mentally and emotionally support you anymore with that.
Right.
But
Well,
it takes
if you're used to, if they're used to you being a very particular way, and
Mhm.
then you understand something about yourself and you switch it and you change it up, they're
Oh,
going to be upset because you
and
just took some away.
you're the bad person.
You're the
You're not
that's the way it
you're
often looks.
that's the way it often looks that you're the
Mhm.
bad person
You're
and
the
you
bad
are
person.
and oh wait, how dare you um
How dare you?
you
Absolutely.
how dare you take this away from me or you stop supporting me or stop doing whatever it is that you how
Whatever
dare
you
you just
gave, often it's the
yes,
support.
yes.
You always were there
It's
when I
always
called and I wanted to bitch about my day with you, but then you told me, no, I'm not doing that anymore.
right, right,
What's
right.
going on?
Or you just don't pick up, or like you get ghosted. You
Well,
get ghosted, and
go
I mean those of you out there that have experienced that ghost thing, it does not feel very very good.
well,
Yeah.
ghosting, just so that you know, we're not talking about that today, but
Oh
ghosting
right,
is a hostile act.
isn't
If
it?
any
Oh
if
gosh,
you are ghosted by someone, whether they realize it or not, it's a hostile act.
yeah, and
That's
it
another
just
time.
that's
But
a whole
I
other thing. Yes.
I bring up this thing about the boundaries and maybe how it's connected to what we got or didn't get because people
Mhm,
don't really
mhm.
understand that when we um, don't say no, when we're doing for other people and we're holding things in, and sometimes we become resentful for the things that we're
Right.
doing, and it can show up in our body in particular way. And there are
Oh.
studies that show that it can make you sick. There is,
Mhm,
and this is off the top of my head, but I know
mhm.
specifically for a lot of Black women, fibroid cyst
Uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh.
is known uh, to happen because of stress, et cetera, et cetera. Don't quote me on it. I'm just telling it off the top of my head. But
Right, right.
let's look at this short video from Gabriel Maté that talks about the impact of saying no.
People don't want to say no. Their bodies will say it in the form of illness. And typically, people who develop chronic illness have had great difficulty saying no to the demands of the world. And that goes back to childhood programming.
There we go.
Because we know how to say no. That's the first thing we say. If we say no before we say yes. And so if we suppress our no, it's because we got programmed to fit in with somebody's expectations before we develop our own sense of what we want. That little no that we don't utter has tremendous impacts on us physically and psychologically.
What you're thinking about something spinning in your head. What's going on?
I couldn't even write it fast enough, but I have the word suppress our own sense of self before we even know what it is, and we're adopting someone else's sense of self before we know about ourselves.
Yeah.
And I mean, you know, and he took it back to the kids. I mean, to our childhood. Even
Absolutely.
though, I mean, I wonder how many no is one of the first words that we say.
Well, they say you're not even supposed to, they tell you when training a dog, don't use no. Don't use the negative. Use positive reinforcement, not negative reinforcement.
Right. But
Right? So this is tied to what you were saying a little bit earlier and what we were talking about. When you grow up in a family system that you can't say no, there's no encouragement. Like if you want to do something, there's no encouragement to do it if it's something different than the family structure.
if it's something different.
So that's a
Yes.
no. So what do you
Yes.
learn as a child?
Right.
You
Right.
learn to what you just
Do-
said, suppress, and then for some people, actually repress and push it way, way, way down. But when we
Mhm.
suppress things, when that no
Ooh.
comes up, when we're doing things that we don't want to do, resentment is going to build, and the
Right.
resentment is gonna come out
Oh.
often
Yeah.
unexpectedly.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't gonna look good.
Right.
It
When
ain't
you
gonna look
use
good.
that word resentment, it feels like it's explosive, and it
It
can be
can be.
really quick. It can just, and it can, um, there's a saying that said, "What people shout about is not what they're mad about," and
Mm,
that
yeah.
it is, and I think that's what it is. What people shout about, it's not what they're really mad about. It can just, what do you say, resentment? That
Uh-huh.
resentment can just it and
Yeah.
expose it. Um, you could have done something really minor, and all of it just triggered, and
Yeah,
it was
because
like,
it's built
oh,
up.
it's built up. It's like,
That
oh,
just tipped it over.
that
Tipped the
just was
scale.
like, whoop, here we go,
You
and here
know,
we go.
when I
Yes,
think about
yes.
that is when you do a lot of pushing down and the resentment builds, most of the
Hmm.
people that say yes a lot and just avoid, just go along to get along,
Hmm.
they are what people might say conflict avoidant, right?
Yes.
Because you're going to say yes. There's this example, this PhD scholar, he gives a great example of a couple, and one is coming home and says, "Hey, I'm bringing pizza and beer. Let's watch
Yes.
Netflix. We're gonna have a great time." The
Yes.
partner at home is like, in their mind, I don't. Well, they said, "Oh, I don't want pizza." Oh no, the other person said, "It's gonna be great. No, we'll have a good time. Blah blah blah." I don't want pizza. Oh yeah, we'll have a good time. Okay. So
Okay.
then they
I'll have.
say, "Okay, it's a good night. It was a
Right.
great night." But what
Right.
happened? The person who just wanted to say no, but couldn't stand up to it, they pushed it down. It was a great night, but then what will happen when that happens over and over and over? At some point in time, hey, we're going to do this. There's going to be an explosion, and they're not going to understand why.
Right. But they were telling you all along.
All
They were
along,
telling you all along, no, no, can we do something? But that other person wasn't listening.
they weren't listening.
It's many times because they had their own agenda. Because
Own agenda.
you were, suppressing they weren't suppressing their wants or wishes or whatever, but you were, even though you were vocalizing and
You
verbalizing what
weren't vocalizing it.
you know.
So
So
I'm wondering, well, I'm not wondering so much. This is
Mhm.
my assertion, and I wouldn't be too far from a lot of people, but how do we get better with saying no? So I'm saying no. To say no means that we're setting some sort of boundary. Now
Right.
we can just say no, but boundaries go a little bit deeper. We want to say, hey, moving forward, I won't be doing this, and um, I would appreciate if you did this. And if you continue to ask me to do this thing, this is what I will do. Right. So you tell what the boundary is. You tell them hopefully what their expectation, because we can't control what they do. And we then tell them, hey, here's what the consequence is if you continue after I've asked this. A lot of people can't do, they can't
And I'm
even,
just shaking my head, and I'm just like, no. A lot of people cannot because
no,
they do not have the words. They don't
no,
have the you know the they don't have the oomph to do that. They don't have, and that hasn't been modeled for them. I think
no, hasn't been
I
modeled.
mean, and I think that that's part of it too. If they're just surrounded by people pleasing people, I mean, people pleasing, and taking that oh less. I hate to say lesser role, but it's that's not what I really want to say. But it's they don't know any other way or how
They don't
to
know because you
know
saw
it's
mama, daddy, grandma, or whom important people around
Mhm.
you. And as we've
Right.
talked about before, and it's true, we learn from those experiences. And also,
Mhm.
as we get older, we will find people around that sort of replicate
Oh,
those earlier experiences until we
oh,
learn differently, till we can put
until
in
we
boundaries,
learn
until we
differently.
can say no. So
No.
let's look at this because
Okay.
we're coming up
Yes,
to
go
the
ahead, man. Go ahead.
on time
And
here.
I
Um,
I like that. Yeah.
saying no, I want us to think about, because we're connecting no to boundaries. Saying no is the action. That's what we
Okay.
want to do. And
Mhm.
think of boundaries as the infrastructure to help you put in,
Oh,
implement the action. So saying no, no is the action, and boundaries is the building that you are creating to do it,
okay.
right? You
Okay.
really can't have one without the other. So if just for you and the people out there might be listening, I want you to think of the boundaries as the fence around your yard, right? Get that in your head right now,
Mhm.
right? So the
I got it.
boundaries can be a lot of different things, but maybe it's your peace, your time, your energy, your finances, et cetera,
Mhm.
et cetera. Saying no is the gate in that fence. So boundaries is here and
Mhm.
no is the gate. And
Mhm.
the conflict is most of the time we may be able to build a beautiful fence. That's our the boundaries that we have up here in our mind, but we never close the gate.
Oh
We
man.
never say
Oh
no.
man.
So the
Oh
fence that we
man. Oh
have
man. Oh
is
man.
useless because we don't close the gate,
Right. Right.
right?
Right.
They People have a hard time saying no because they haven't decided. Um, sometimes they don't even know, okay, where do I want to put the fence up? And because they don't even know what they need to protect, what's important on their property, right? And and certainly if they can't even put the fence up, you ain't closing the gate. So people keep coming.
They keep coming. They
They keep
keep
coming,
coming, right? And keep taking and keep, setting up shop and keep building
setting up
within your
shop
fence. They do. It's keep building within your fence,
within your
and
fence.
for some reason, it's um that scenario that you had given about what to say, and
Hmm.
how that this is what's going to happen if you continue this and this. Those
Hmm.
building blocks are not they're not they're not accessible to them. Those building blocks, they're not they don't have them. And so, yeah, they may have a fence, but it may not be in no concrete. You know, those posts may
Yes,
not be in concrete. And so you got the gate and everything, but it's so shabby
it
because
is so
the
shabby.
the
So
the scaffolding is not there
scaffolding, it's
for
not there.
it's not there for them.
So I want to put in this brief video as we're
Okay.
coming to the close of our time
Wow.
today,
Wow.
um, of
The
this
power of no.
the
Ooh,
power of
yes.
no, of Nedra.
Yes.
I can't pronounce her last name, so I feel bad.
Okay.
But she beautifully outlines boundaries in a way I think
Oh, wow.
is helpful for
And
us.
her name is Nedra?
That's her first name. I can't tell the rest. I'll
Oh,
send you
wow.
the
I
link.
just anybody with the word name Nedra, I have to respect,
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
A
okay.
few signs that you need healthier boundaries. Sign number one,
Look at it.
you are feeling frustrated, anxious, disappointed
Important.
in something or someone. It might be time to set
Yep.
boundaries. Sign number two, burnout. When you
Work.
are dreading certain interactions, being in certain spaces, around certain people, you don't have the energy to
Mm-hmm.
push through, might be a sign that you need healthier boundaries. And sign number three, whatever you're complaining about all the
Give
time,
it to us.
your relationship with your partner, if there are particular things that you are highlighting, this person always does that, that person always does this, those are signs that you may need healthier boundaries.
Hmm. Hmm.
She could go
Hmm.
on and I could listen to her.
She
Yes,
can go
yes.
on, right?
She could go on
She's
about
telling the
that.
truth.
She is telling the truth. And I think that we I think that we kind of deceive ourselves sometimes in that everything is okay or
Oh,
things will
oh,
change. And that's what I mean about we deceive ourselves that,
yeah.
oh, it's going to get better. It is going to, but I've heard the quotes that says when people show you who they are, believe them
Believe
and,
it.
and believe them. And I mean, the burnout. Oh gosh, and that just doesn't happen in jobs, but in relationships, in um, what other areas could just burn out rear its ugly head, because
All of them.
when all of
In any place where
it,
you work, you can be burned
mm,
out and you can have issues with boundaries when you're a server, where you work at a
oh
clothing
yes,
store,
yes.
when you're a
Oh
policeman,
gosh.
doesn't matter. Someone asks you, "Hey, can you cover the shift? Can you come in today? Can you work
Mm,
later? Can you
mm,
do this? Can you do that?"
mm,
And if you say
mm,
yes,
mm,
when you
mhm.
really don't want to or
You do
no,
want to, right?
this is exactly what we're saying. The power of no is like, I can't today. I can't
Mhm.
tomorrow. Call me tomorrow, but not tonight. I'm doing this time. And the thing is, you can say no even if you don't have anything else to do.
Man, I was going to say you can say no without having an explanation.
There you go.
You can. I have caught myself trying to explain no. And
Yeah.
I have like in a text or something, and I have erased everything and just said, no, not at this time.
Not at this
And left it
time.
at, and not I don't need to explain anything to you. Just
Nothing.
no, not at this time. I'm not
Not at
able
this
to do
time.
that. Yeah.
I
I
love it.
didn't even I've heard it say thank you for asking, but no.
But
And
no.
I'm to that point where it's
Yeah.
not at this time.
Phil,
But
this has
man,
been
this
this has been
yes, it
a
has.
great start, a good conversation for today. You know,
Yes, yes.
the power of
Of
no,
no, yes.
which I imagine because we sort of opened the door today that at some point in
Mhm.
time, maybe we can come back and we can just, it could be more about boundaries and exploring boundaries
I
in
re
our relationships and looking like what it means, right?
I would like
So,
that. I would.
wow, this has
Wow.
been this good. And
Yes.
y'all, we want to thank you for joining us today. Uh, in this episode today, we've been talking about just how powerful the word no, N-O,
Yes.
really is. It is not about being difficult. It's about creating a boundary that actually lets you keep your peace, right? Please know, we really would know that it's a privilege for us to be able to share this space with y'all as we explore these topics and as we're getting to know each other and getting to know you a little bit more. So if something that we talked about today touched you or touched on something for you or gave you that little push that you've needed to finally say no to something or somebody, please share the podcast. Sometimes knowing that someone else is navigating similar struggles can help you make a change. So if you'd like to stay connected and catch our future conversations, hit that subscribe button. We genuinely value your insights and feedback that you share with us. Your voice is what helps our community thrive, and every like and comment truly makes a difference. So until we see you again, please stay curious about your own story and those around you. What do you have to say?